Happy Saturday evening. Happy Saturday evening, everyone. This is Chrissy Comments Conversation live on Facebook, and I am your host, Chrissy Comments. This is my Saturday edition, and I am excited for this amazing guest. But first, as always, I like to talk about a few things. First, I want to give a salute to all of the first responders because right now we are in the midst of a tragic event that happened this week where a building collapsed in Florida. And we want to send out all of our prayers and our thoughts with the families of the people that are being, the remains that are coming out, and some of the people that they're still looking for, and the first responders that are in the midst of that. We get to see real time as they are trying their best to bring the loved ones to their family members. So we want to give a salute to those, as well as the ones that are still fighting this pandemic. Remember that we are still in the midst of one, as well as we have a new variant out right now that is highly dangerous. So we want to stay aware of that, as well as this is still Pride Month. So, we want to make sure that we recognize all of the individuals that have enough pride to be able to speak out on who they are. So with that being said, I'd like to introduce amazing young lady, Miss Dominique Jones. Hi, Miss Dominique.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm gonna tell y'all, it's hot in Cali, okay? It's hot.
Yeah, so you're in California and I'm in Charlotte. So, East Coast, West Coast thing here, and you're, the hours different. So first of all, I want to thank you for that. Being able to be available with the 3-hour difference.
Listen, I appreciate the time.
I understand it is extremely hot. So please stay hydrated, and find as best shade as you can. I know you were getting your air and everything together when we got on.
Keep the air on. We keep it on.
Speak up a little bit louder for everyone.
Bye. We keep the air on. Like keep it
I bet.
Circulating.
All day.
All day.
That is insane. They were talking about the numbers earlier, reaching 110 in some areas, 115. I mean, just unreal. And if people didn't realize or don't believe in climate change, I mean, how much more climate change do you want?
Right.
So let's get into, please tell people who you are.
Yeah. Okay. So, my legal name is Dominique. Everyone calls me Domo because nobody ever knows how to say my name right. So
speak a little bit louder.
Everyone calls me Domo.
Domo.
Yeah, Domo. Domo. I am 33. I live in Cali. I am an author. I've written 2 books. I'm currently working on my 3rd. I have 2 businesses. One is named Salve, and it's an online business that promotes my motto, "Don't let the disability fool you." I have another company that I own called Walking by Design, and that promotes my motto. I customize walkers and medical accessories. I have one. Yeah, I have one. So I kept getting stopped, and I was like, I guess this is kind of like a business, low key.
Yeah.
So I have those 2 businesses. I'm also a podcast host.
Yes, you are.
And I am also I'm a certified I'm a master. I need to learn how to say it right. Say it right, Dominique. A master certified whatever. I'm a disability life coach. I don't do all them titles. I can't say that.
Don't get caught up on the titles. Yeah, she's a coach. That's what she is.
I'm a disability confidence coach. And I am a website designer and a copy editor. Yeah, so that's like
so that's why I had to title it this evening, The Amazing Domo Jones, because all of your titles. I mean, when we spoke over the phone, I was like, whoa, this is a lot. Yeah,
Man,
you sent
I'm
me the
sorry.
link, and I went through everything and researched everything about you, and you're just amazing.
Thank
Um,
you.
so explain to people, how do you even tell us, how did you branch off into so many different directions?
You know, I have the motivation of like, I don't know. I just have my mindset is like really strong, right? So, um, anything that I kind of want to do, I focus on it and I get to it. I have a disability myself, so in that, I did 6 years of chemotherapy, 187 chemo treatments, right? So,
Mm.
I was at a stage in my life, a season in my life where I felt like I didn't have anything worth anything because all I saw was doctor's appointments and chemotherapy. Like that's it. I didn't at the time that I had chemo, I was driving, I was going to school, I was working, and all that got taken away from me because I had to
Demo,
start
how old are
therapy.
you?
33.
33? You
Yes.
have the life of a 50-year-old. I mean, all the accomplishments,
Listen.
not the age, but just
No,
the
no, it's
long list of
cool.
so many things.
I
So
appreciate that.
young.
I appreciate that. I love hanging around senior citizens. Like, love it.
Me too.
Like, they have so much wisdom. And
They
I'm
do.
like,
And they're
give it all.
straightforward about it.
Yes, give it all to me. Give it all. Um, yeah, so after my chemotherapy journey, literally during the pandemic is when everything kind of flourished for me.
Okay.
As far as like writing the books and doing the businesses and podcasts, like everything, because for me, I'm used to staying in the house. I'm used to being sick. So like I was living like y'all living how I live. So I literally took that pandemic, being stuck in the house, I'm in the house bored, that I took that and I used it to my
You took
advantage.
that and flipped it. Yeah.
I did.
I've been speaking to a lot of guests that amazingly this pandemic has just opened up, as much as it hurts and it's been traumatic mentally and physically and everything for a lot of people. It's also has opened so many doors of
Yeah.
opportunity for new businesses and ideas to come through. People's backs are against the wall. I'll keep saying it. You will make a way.
Yeah.
So, for people like yourself, thank you for being able to come out. um, Yes, we have a guest on that says absolutely, it was definitely the right time. Thank you, Miss Rowe. It
Thank
was,
you, Miss
the
Bro.
timing. It may have been hard for us to see at first,
Yeah.
but the timing was the window. Because if all of us had stayed where we were,
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't even be doing the show right now if
Right.
I'd stayed where I was.
Exactly. And I would never met you. We friends now.
Exactly,
Like we
exactly.
friends.
Do you mind sharing with the guests, well, the viewers, on what your disability is? Are
Oh
you
yeah, not a
comfortable with
problem. So I have a brain tumor. It's benign, which means it's not cancerous, but I had it when I was 9 years old. I was deaf in my right ear. My right side stopped growing for a while. I had no feeling in my right side. My right side is shorter than my left. Um, and from those symptoms is when the diagnosis came of you have a brain tumor
Mm-hmm.
and it's pressing against your nerve spine. So we're gonna do surgery, but we can't get it all out because it's on your neck spine. And so if we touch your neck spine, you'll be paralyzed, or you probably won't be living. So
Wow.
from that, it's almost like that's a constant thing for me because I have to constantly get checked since I was 9. I'm
Yeah.
33. So and that's when I said earlier about I didn't see anything past doctor's appointments because I always have doctor's appointments.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, thank God that is benign. I definitely understand what that is of going through. I have never really shared, but I'm sharing now that dealing with thyroids, it's a very scary thing. And I have to constantly continue to get it checked, because there are nodules, is what they call them, in my thyroid. So they have to
Yeah.
watch them. Right now, they're benign. So I
Yeah.
understand having to definitely go through that journey. For me, it was being scared and wondering what the outcome was going to be. So I just thank God that it is benign, and you just keep living life and keep living the best of it. When you were
Yes.
going through everything, designing all of these different things in your head, was there a moment in time where you were like, I can't do this. This is too much. Like, has it ever been too much for you?
Girl, yes. Yeah, I still feel like it's too much. Like every day I'm like, Domo, what are you doing? Like, relax. Um, and to be honest, honestly, I really do still have those moments, but I make them only moments. I don't get stuck in that because there's so much favor that I've been getting with just even being myself. I never really wanted to talk about my disability because my parents always talked about, like, they said it for me. Both my dad and my stepdad, they're both pastors. So I'm always the person of example all the time over the pulpit. So I'm like, well, you already know my story. So like, y'all good. But I had to tell it myself. And so once I began to tell it myself from my way, that's when all the doors and the opportunities and the speaking and even the opportunity like this, being on your show, that's when all that started opening.
So, with that you're leading right into my next question about being an author. So you decided to take your story and become an author of 2 books right now. Can you explain the first book, and you got to tell people where to find them?
Yes, of course. Okay, so my first book is it's called #Damaged But Not Dead, and on Amazon. All my books are on Amazon, and that is literally a story of my life from like beginning to end. The feelings, the emotions, all that, from my view though, not from anyone else's view, how I felt going through each moment. It's definitely not a sob story. It's not like depressing or anything, because I'm not depressing. Literally,
No,
like
you are
how I'm
so upbeat.
right. How I'm talking right now is how the book is read. Like, yo, okay, so yesterday, look, I'm sick of all these doctors. Like, that's literally how the book is.
Yeah, I was reading the back of the book, and I was like, and you said, I'm going to talk to you guys. We're friends, we're family now. I'm going to talk to you just like, we're right here with each other. And I really like that way of telling your story.
Yes.
It appealed to me, and I that's awesome. That's an awesome twist on being an author.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And my second book is called Self-Talk, But You Can Eavesdrop Too. And that's also on Amazon. Wow. And that book, I wrote that during the pandemic, October 2020. And that's basically a compilation of quotes, affirmations, sayings that I came up with that kind of helped me during the 6 years of chemotherapy. They're not so much medically inclined just because I was dealing with that. But they're actually quotes that can help people who are going through whatever experience you're dealing with. Just kind of keep you grounded, keep you remembering that, this is only temporary. It's not who you are. It's just what you're going through.
Do you feel that going through this whole ordeal, in a way, played with your mental state of being?
It didn't. My mental is like super strong, and I had to make it that way because my physical was weak. So I couldn't have a double negative. So I'm like, Domo, all right, you're dealing with physical stuff all the time. So your mind got to be as strong as iron, bro. Like, your mind has to really be like super strong to deal with all this stuff. I had chemotherapy. I went through radiation. I had chemotherapy, radiation, 2 surgeries. I had
You had no choice but to have a strong mind.
I had no choice. Bell's palsy, where the left side of my face just drooped, just randomly. So all these like major medical experiences that I had to go through, I had to be mentally prepared.
Yeah. And you're a beautiful young lady, by the way. Beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you. I just drink a lot of water. That's it.
I had my makeup artist, Miss Beats by Tweet. She was on Wednesday, and that was her major point that she made to everybody: water, water. So you approve? Definitely drink the water.
Drink the water and eat fruit snacks. That's it.
Yes. So let me ask you: why do you think that people try to limit people with disabilities? Because you have no limits.
Thank you. It's abnormal. Anything that's like different from the norm is just like considered a waste. And when I say different from,
before you finish that, I want to put a point out there about the whole normal. What is really normal? I mean, what can we say is normal? Everybody's talking about going back to normal. What was normal about how we lived? What are we going back to? So when you separating people, what we think is normal, how do we really even know? But I just wanted to point that out. For me, I don't like to say what's normal and what's not normal. That really gets to me.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Because ain't nobody normal in this world. Everyone has a limitation. Like everyone. Mine is physical. Someone else's could be mental. Someone else's could be emotional. We all have something that we lack. I think the thing is, because most of the time people that have a disability, it's physical, so it's the first thing that you can see. So it's almost like, to the average eye, there's nothing that they can relate to you, because I'm
just gonna let you know the makeup artist said you have her thinking she's not doing enough with that beautiful skin there.
Let me tell you something. What's the makeup artist?
That's Ro Green, Beats by Tweet.
Listen, Miss Ro, listen. I need some tips from you, okay? You know.
Yeah, so not having, limitations yourself, even though other people may look at you in that way, you've been able to persevere. I mean, you were explaining earlier that you make walkers.
I do. I customize walkers. I've been using a walker since I was 28. So that's about 6-7 years. I'm very like, I got green hair. Like I'm very like bright and just like there, right in your face. Mm-hmm. And I don't do like the silver plain dull looking. We're not doing that. No.
You're like, I'm not old. I just have what you consider not normal.
Exactly. Like that's like you. The walker is messing up my outfit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make it to fit me.
I like that.
That's it. And I was just doing it for myself, but everywhere I went, I kept getting stopped. Like, yo, who's doing your walker? Like, that is so dope. I've never seen that before. Thank you. I know, because that's how I get down.
Please, I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure you hit Dominica Jones up for a walker if you need one. I mean, that's just a business by itself, even though she has 10 of them, but that's just a business by itself.
Wow, Chrissy comments. Wow.
I mean, now I want to get into your podcast. I'm trying to dip and dab into everything for you.
Let's go.
With your podcast, what is it that your podcast, what is it based on? What are you doing?
Yes, ma'am. So my podcast is also called Don't Let the Disability Fool You. And I only interview the disabled community as well as essential caregivers. I just give them the opportunity to share their story. We don't get that chance because we're often overlooked. So I like to give them that platform to show how we actually break the stigma. I know I'm not the only one that has a disability that can do like probably way more than people that got 2 legs, 2 arms. Like, I know that. So I give everyone who has a disability, whether it's physical, mental, and caregivers, because they're overlooked, man. They're like heroes. I don't care what nobody say. They're heroes to the max.
They're angels on their own.
Man, selfless. That's the definition. Caregiver, selfless. So I just give them that opportunity to share, as well as share what they do. If they have an organization, if they're in business, if they're an entrepreneur, however you get down, let the people know.
That's amazing. What is it? Some of the things that you've learned along the way with this podcast from different people?
Man, although I've been having a disability since I was 9, I never delved in that community. So to see the diversity of what people deal with, but also to see how they're living with it and how they do so much using their disability as well as I do, it's so dope to see like you're not the only one. Like they get it too.
Yeah.
They figured it out. They figured it out.
It's like your own club where everybody knows what the other is experiencing in a way. That's awesome.
I'll be like, yo, you're dope. I don't care. Like, you're dope.
And you need that. You need that that cheer, in a way, that uplifting, especially when you're going through so many difficult moments, whether it's treatment or new diagnosis or new, doctors and changing things in your life. Everybody needs it in a way.
Yeah, very true. Everybody.
So that's amazing that you developed a podcast that is just specially geared towards people that are just like you. I mean, that was one of the reasons why I created this platform, because I wanted to talk to people like yourselves that are doing so many amazing things that we don't get to hear about because you're not on CNN or on Oprah or, everybody can't get pulled. So I wanted a platform as well for people to be able to come on and talk about all of the great things that they're doing. So you are just one of so many people that I hope to have on here and share their stories.
Yes, y'all get on Chrissy Comments. Get on the show. Or I'll call you out.
Thank you. So now, when do you even have time for you? Let's go there before I go into any other questions. When do you have time for you?
Let me tell you something. I get time for me. Okay. Listen, I literally live by my calendar, right? So I'm a planner, I'm a scheduler. So with all the things that I do, I have my days and I have my times. After that time, if I'm block out an hour for a podcast, after that hour, don't ask me about no podcast. Don't ask me about nothing. That's not in my mind. The drawer.
You're moving on to the next thing.
We're moving on to the next. And I have because of how my body is, it gets tired a lot. And if I keep moving, my body will shut down. I'd rather shut my body down than my body shut down for me.
That's
because right. I gotta wait for it to get ready.
So I was speaking on I was on a panel earlier this afternoon for women, and it was called Tea and Me. It was called. I'm sorry, Tea and Me, and it was where women discussed how their lives, which is their cups, can run over with so many things going on in it. And one of the things that I pointed out is the importance of your health, because your body will shut down on you. And I've had those moments when you take on so many things that you don't take the time out for yourself and your body. And if you don't do it, your body will do it for you.
Very true.
Yeah. So that's great that you recognize that. What are some of the things that you do to relax?
I'll be watching my show. Can I say the show? Can I say the shows on here?
Say that again.
Is it safe to say the shows that I like on here?
Oh, sure.
Okay, cool. So The Shy, that's my show. I'll be watching Food Network. That's my show. And I'll be cooking not a thing on Food Network, but I love Food Network.
I just watch it.
Right. HGTV. I am like an old lady.
Me too. I love those shows.
Decorate. No, yes. That's a dope. Listen, just I chill. I am a person that I love going out and adventure and travel. I do that every year with my dad.
That's awesome.
But when I have my days that I need to like shut down, I literally don't do anything. I don't even have my phone with me because I need to like shut everything down.
I am so glad to know that you are at least resting, because after all of that, you web design too.
I know.
Where were you when I was in the midst of designing a whole website for my wine, And I got it done. But oh my goodness, had I been able to know who met you, I would have just given it to you. Because it is not easy.
No,
Oh my
it's
goodness. So
not.
web design, how did that come into play with everything?
Okay, because I do so much, it was literally I created the website myself. I created my own websites. And for every business that I had, I ended up creating a website for it. And I'm like, yo, why you got 19 websites? Just create one whole one, put everything in there. So it was literally like what I had my trial and error of the businesses, of the books, of the podcast. And yeah, that's kind of how it started. And people
And
were
let me
like,
tell you guys, her website, the link, I posted it on Facebook. Please check that link out. Once you click it, it will take you to different tabs of all of the things that we talked about tonight that she's able to do for you and for others. And I was blown away by the design of that website. It explained who you are, the different areas that you work in, how you can be reached on these different platforms, everything. It was amazing. So
thank
web design is
you.
definitely, definitely, if you need somebody, look her up.
I appreciate that. You a real one. So like,
So as a Black woman, did you find it difficult to get not only your own to support you, but for you to be able to get out there and support yourself?
you know what? To be 100, I'm still struggling because I do not. I have a struggle with like promoting myself and talking about myself. I like that's a big struggle to me. Because us as like Black women, if we say anything about ourselves, oh, you boasting, you cocky, like you always talking about yourself, like all of that. But in reality, like people don't know the struggles that you had to go through to get to this point. So
You know,
you're
one
excited
thing
about it.
one thing that I'll say to people like that, if you don't boast you, if you're not cocky about you, you can't expect for anybody else to feel that way about you until you feel that way about you. You know what I'm saying?
So
You
true.
have to always give yourself the most accolades before anybody
Yeah.
else can. You can't wait around for other people to praise you. You got to praise you.
Yeah. Yeah, and I had to get to that mindset to where it's like, girl, they don't know what you've been through. They see your glory, but they don't really know your story. So
Right.
talk about yourself, okay? Because they talking about you, so you talk about you too.
That's right. That's right. They talked about Jesus, as they say. I mean,
Okay.
who are we? If we can't get talked about and just take the lick and keep on kicking it
And
up,
they still
just
talking about
it's
him.
life. It's something that we're all going to have to bear. But
So true.
again, if you are not here as your biggest cheerleader, then you can't expect for anybody else to understand, regardless of what you've gone through. You have to be supportive of yourself first. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm an advocate for even telling people date yourself, because you're gonna know yourself before anybody else will.
Thank you. I be dating myself all the time. I don't care. I do not care.
you know, um, you have so many things that are going on. What are your goals in all of this?
Man, one major goal of mine, I I just want to, I don't know how to say this like in the negative positively. I'm just gonna say it. I love to prove people wrong.
Ah,
Like
I'm the same way.
I find the joy in proving people wrong.
I am the
And
same way.
yeah, and because um I get the stares because I'm young with a medical complication, and I have a walker and like all this stuff. I get those looks, I get those stares that they don't want to say nothing, but they just staring at you. And I love to prove people that feel like I can't do it, to show them I don't need to talk about it, but I'm gonna show you what I can. And my one main goal in the world is to give God like his, like all the accolades in the world, because every time I do something, it shows that God is real, like God is a miracle, because they know what I've been through. But to see me still living, have businesses, have books, it's like, wait,
Your
what?
proof. Yeah.
Yeah, like you did 187 chemo treatments. How in the world do you still have all your hair? What?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
But
God,
God.
God,
That's
that's
right. And that leads right into my next question. So do you think that this was the way for your, that there was no other way for your life to go? This was your path.
yes. I definitely do. It to the natural eye, it looks like, well, why would you want to deal with all this stuff? If I didn't deal with it, would I be able to say I've accomplished all this stuff? I don't feel like I would. I wouldn't have a story to tell. I wouldn't be able to reach the people that I can now, and probably do the things that I'm doing now if I didn't go through all those medical conditions. If I didn't deal with anything, because people don't want to know what you learned. They want to know what you've been through, like what you deal with. I need to know the real of you. That's how
Right.
I can relate. I don't need to know the books that you studied. I don't care if you got all these degrees or whatever. What you been through, bro.
Right.
That's it. What you
How
been
did you
through.
even get to this? That's what they want to know. Yeah.
Right, the real of it. And
That's the same thing as when you're purchasing a home. They don't want to know that you purchased it. They want to know how you did it.
exactly. How? What's the steps? I need to
Hmm.
know what your personal steps were.
So your life is pretty much a how-to guide in a way.
Is. Yeah, definitely so. I always say this: my journey, my life, everything I go through is not about me. It ain't. It's literally about the book that I created to help someone else when they read it.
Hmm.
It's
Hmm.
literally about the walker that I had to go through, the walker that I had to be, um that I had to grow in confidence of, to let someone else know that's dealing with a medical condition. Girl, you can still look cute with your walker. You can still look bomb
Yeah,
with your leg brace. Don't let
that's
it fool
right.
you.
That's right. And it even makes for children that are going through that moment of maybe that this is what their life is going to be. You're able to show them that your life is not limited. So you're
Yeah.
inspiration to even children that are going through things.
Yeah, because I dealt with it as a child. I dealt with it when I was in high school, freshman year of high school. I
Yeah,
couldn't even
children can
go
be
my
horribly
first senior
mean.
year. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
My first senior year of high school, I couldn't go to high school. And then my second semester of my freshman year, I had to use a neck
Hmm.
brace and a roller backpack.
Oh,
Freshman
wow.
year.
Wow.
What?
Yeah, freshman year is tough. It's tough.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
But you did it. You
I
did it,
did
and
it.
you're able to talk about it and show other people. So, one thing we didn't really talk more on is being a coach. How does that
Yes.
play into everything? You're able to coach other people through their difficulties.
Yeah, so I think I would like to say I was acting as a coach before I got the title.
Okay.
Um and I say that because just me being open about what I deal with, and it started kind of with the podcast, to be honest. Because I was able to share and relate my story compared to theirs. I was able. We know we talking the same language.
Hmm.
There were the same things that we were dealing with, different circumstances, but the same foundation.
People
So
people don't realize that podcasting is therapeutic.
it is.
It is therapeutic. It was almost suggested to me by my therapist to do this
Really.
because it allowed me to tap into who I really was. So,
Mm.
having a podcast, even for you, had to been a way of being able to tap into everything else that you become.
Oh yeah, definitely. So it opened my eyes to the real of what we deal with. It's hard smiling when you have a disability, because it's not an injury. This is something
Hmm.
permanent. It's
Hmm.
not a temporary thing. You don't have a scratch, you don't have a broken foot. Like, this
You
is,
can't put a bandage on it.
you can't put a bandage on it. Like, you have to learn how to actually
it
live
and you
with.
know what? I almost didn't mention it, but um, my grandfather, my father's father, was disabled. He was one of the people that didn't survive the polio outbreak.
Wow.
And he was disabled completely, I believe, if I can remember, completely on either his right side, if I remember right. I might be wrong. I was young. But I didn't know that it was anything different about my grandfather. I just knew he was my grandfather in a wheelchair that still made me laugh, that, gave me money, candy, and that if he needed me to scratch his back, I would scratch his back.
Right.
Different things. If I needed to help him brush his hair, I would brush his hair. So that was normal to me.
Yeah.
Not understanding what a disability was. I didn't know he had a disability. It was, that was grandpa. And he made it look so easy, but also, like you said, the caregivers, my grandmother, his wife, she made it look absolutely easy for all that she did in taking care of him and my father and my aunts. So I have that connection of understanding.
Yeah. It's not easy, and that was the reason why I became a life coach, and I got certified, because there are some people that are like, well, how you need some type of certification to go to the other world, the business world of things. So I wanted to cover all my bases, talk to my people and talk to y'all people.
You are such a bright young mind. I mean, just amazing. I love hearing young Black people just doing their thing. I'm almost 40, so
you look good, girl. You look good.
But just hearing the stories and the different ideas and the journeys of younger people and what they're going through and how they're getting to, I want to say, they have the problems and they have the solutions. It just amazes me. So you are just definitely one of those rising stars that people need to just continue to watch, because, honey, all I'm going to say is when you get there, I have the footage from your first, one of your first interviews.
I got you.
I have definitely enjoyed getting to know you, because we met. You found me in a podcast
group
club online. So I really appreciate you reaching out to me, and I'm going to continue to reach out to you because I have to keep up with you. I really do.
I'm gonna do the same. I gotta keep up with you too. Like, what's Chrissy Comments talking about? What?
Well, listen, you never will know until it comes out what I'll be talking about. And I always tell people I have no limitations on the conversations that we will have. My door is open, as I always say, conversations welcomed. So, whatever people want to talk about and are comfortable with talking about, I tell you, please inbox me, let me know, and we'll get it happening.
Right. I love it.
Because just like Dominique came to me, anybody can come to me.
Right.
And you don't know who wants to hear these kind of topics, because it's not every day that we can talk about disabilities, the stigmas on them, the limitations, or what people think is a limitation, and all the accomplishments that you have. So this was a treat, and I have to have you back. We will get together on when I will have you back. And I want you to tell people again where they can find all of your items. I'm going to post the link again this evening so they can know how to reach you as well. But I want you to tell them.
Yes, ma'am. So everything I do, I made it easy for everybody. Everything I do is under my website, www.thedomojones.info. Everything. Facebook, IG, books, all that. Everything.
She put all that in the bag of chips in one link, okay?
Everything.
I really again enjoyed you, Dominique. And I wish you all the best and all the luck in the world. You are a beautiful young woman. And Chrissy Comments Conversation is a platform that you're always welcome to come back. And as I always tell all of my viewers and all of the followers, please remember to share, like, comment on this so this message can get out, this conversation can get out, because this was a meaningful conversation tonight that we need to have more about, as well as being able to find me on YouTube. You'll be able to find this show and more if you missed out on any of them on YouTube. At any given time, you can press play. Make sure you thumbs it up and you subscribe so that you can continue to get all of the content if you miss it on Facebook. This is another edition of Chrissy Comments Conversation. And tonight we had a conversation with Miss Domo Jones, who is what I call an amazing woman. She's an author, a life coach. She makes your walkers. She's a web designer. I know I'm missing something, but she does all of these things and much, much more. So what her whole thing that I get from her is there are no limitations, none at all. She will continue to keep going and you will continue to see her out there. So please continue to support her and others like her. Thank you again for being on Chrissy Comments Conversation, and I will see you next week. As always, stay safe, stay covered up, and have meaningful conversations. Thank you, Miss Jones.
Bye. Thank you. Love you.
Love you too, dear. Hold 1 second for me. Bye, everyone.